about this Sophie Cunningham situation. If you guys don't know, this thing has been really hitting the fan. Now, Cheryl Reeve made some
couple pictures. Held the belts.
I mean, I know pregame talk of just sort of the offense
First, and we haven't seen each other yet. So first time playing each other. So there's a bit of a feeling out, you know.
Yeah, I mean, full court press almost the entire time she's out there. Deflections, just when she's playing at that kind of pest conversation with Sophie Cunningham.
I did.
If you want to share what you talked
Absolutely
about, feel
not.
free. But
Absolutely not.
more of my question.
Type atmosphere like this today. How valuable is that to your team, especially the younger players?
Yeah, well, and I think Max.
So we have Cheryl Reeve opening up about this Sophie Cunningham situation. If you guys don't know, this thing has been really hitting the fan. Now, Cheryl Reeve made some comments about Sophie Cunningham yesterday in her pre-press conference, and today she followed it up with speaking to Sophie before the game. Now, there was a photo that has been floating around online of these two talking before the game. Let me get it pulled up for you guys. Now, we all know that Sophie Cunningham has found herself in a wormhole, man. She got these rallies being led pretty much at the beginning of the game and during the game from all over the country to see her. Let me get this pulled up for you guys. So this was the scene before the game, and as you guys can see here, it looked like it possibly could have been a heated exchange that took place between these two. Now, Cheryl Reeve did have on a very intimidating T-shirt that we're not even going to dive into because I'm really tired of talking about this whole situation at this point. Like, I feel where Sophie was coming from. I just never thought in a million years this thing could just boil over the way it has, and I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. Now, with that being said, Cheryl Reeve spoke to the media, and Olivia Miles did too, and Olivia Miles is straight bragging about beating Kayla Clark, which is crazy in itself.
Yeah. Took a couple pictures. Held the belts.
I mean, I know pregame talk of just sort of the offensive output that some teams are putting out, you know, this year. You guys, the Fever. I mean, what'd you kind of make of that first quarter and just what looks there were in terms of both teams kind of getting on such a front foot?
Yeah, it was exactly what I expected. Two teams, like we are in August, it's August 1st, and we haven't seen each other yet. So first time playing each other. So there's a bit of a feeling out, you know, sort of thing, and offense definitely, you know, had their way with each of the team's defenses. Certainly knew that probably wasn't going to be sustained, and it wasn't. But, you know, we were hoping at some point our defense could be a separator. I think the hustle plays, possessions on the glass, things like that. I mean, we didn't necessarily, obviously, you have one player get 37. That's not great. Field goal percentages, not great, right? So we're not happy with it, but, you know, we felt like we had to really fight to win, and, you know, glad we did that. And then next time we play them, each team's going to have a lot more information.
And then, you know, in this game in particular, it kind of felt like Liv got going in the first half. Fee kind of comes up there in the third. Courtney, I guess, towards the end. I mean, how much of that do you get a sense with the players? Is it like trying to find the hot hand? Or I don't know, just like what do you make of those patterns? In games
I mean,
like
so
this?
like, you know, when a player scores 23 by half, that's all we talked about was we knew that there was going to be greater challenges. We felt some of it towards the end of the second quarter, so we had a sense going into the third. I didn't think we handled it as well as we wanted to. There was times that we did. But, you know, I think a willingness to, you know, get off of it or do different things, not to put yourself in the heat where they had us. And then, you know, when Liv was out, you know, we've got a really good player in Fee that needed to get those touches, and she made the most of them. And I thought Courtney was pretty consistent throughout. And obviously, you know, she had her time and you know, came through for us.
Also wanted to ask you about Maya. I mean, full court press almost the entire time she's out there. Deflections, just when she's playing at that kind of pesky level, what does she do for this team?
Yeah, exactly what you saw. You know, when she comes in, obviously we look a little different offensively. But there's for the players that were, you know, starting and that she's coming in for, or maybe a chance for Mac to guard somebody different for a little bit. She gives us a lot of flexibility. incredibly valuable. The extra possessions, I can't understate what it does for our team, and Maya has really captured that and said, okay, this is what I need to be for this team, and she does it consistently for us, night in, night out.
Before the game, you had a conversation with Sophie Cunningham.
I did.
If you want to share what you talked
Absolutely
about, feel
not.
free. But
Absolutely not.
more of my question is just how important is it to have those like in-person conversations with people that
I think it's
have
great.
different
Yeah.
views?
I think it's great. I think both of us understand that we have platforms, and, we both talked about, wanting to, more than anything, educate. And there are some things that, we have in common, and maybe some things you differ on, just like any issues. And I think it's how you handle things. And so, it was nice to be in person, for sure.
Howard was kind of flirting with foul trouble for most of the game. How do you think you guys handled, you threw some different looks at Boston. How do you think you handled that situation?
I think past the first quarter, I thought we did pretty well. I thought we did. She had her way with us, and obviously she's, a terrific post player. And, when she gets her position and her finishing rate is so high, it's very difficult to get her to miss when she gets into a certain spot. So, and she's added the three. So, it's a really good team, as you guys know. I mean, look at who we're trying to guard, and, we haven't brought up Caitlin yet. And so Tashi had a big steal for us.
When you have a sold-out crowd in a playoff type atmosphere like this today, how valuable is that to your team, especially the younger players?
Yeah, well, and I think Max said it earlier, our crowds have been terrific. Obviously, expect this crowd to be a little more because of the proximity to Iowa and the fan base. There was definitely an energy in the building you could feel, and so for players, incredibly exciting. Olivia Miles, imagine being Olivia Miles as a rookie and coming in, and there's a lot on her shoulders. And when things go well, it's a lot of fun, and then when you have moments in the game where it's a little tougher, her ability to kind of fight through different schemes and attention that she's getting, and the clutch play that she made, the three-point play to sort of put us in better position to finish out the game. That maturity as a rookie is very, very impressive.
11 of 5 advantage on the offensive rebounding tonight.
Yep.
Can you just discuss how important it has been to crash the boards and against a team like Indiana?
Well, it's not necessarily Indiana. It's been a bigger part of our identity this season, and it's been valuable. Multiple shot attempts. Obviously, any offense, it serves you well. Serves you well to have more possessions than your other team, and it's something we have found success with.
You talked about the moment yesterday that the players love playing in these moments.
Yeah.
To see Olivia Miles show up, the other players, Courtney Williams, the nat pops she gets from the crowds.
Yeah.
I mean, how exciting is that for the team? And obviously, when you're trying to close out a game in the end, how important is that?
Yeah, it's obviously a great question for them, but I can tell you what I hear from them is these are the environments they want to play in. We have a terrific, home court fan base, et cetera. And so I think, obviously when it got a little tough there, they'll tell you, that the fans are the ones that help them through.
First half, y'all had 64 points on 65% shooting. I mean, I know these are the best offensive in the league between you and Indiana, but could you have written a better first half for your team?
Yeah, no, I mean, her mental toughness is, you can't do what a young player like that, first year in the league, is doing without, a really, really healthy level of confidence and toughness. Knowing, maybe not initially, they maybe didn't know what she was about, but once she established what she was about and getting the best effort from that team, to get schemes on, Liv, in this case, actually had different defensive assignments, and was playing a lot more off ball in today's game. But the mental toughness is real. I mean, it's hard to be successful without it.
So, Coach, 8 out of the last 12 games have been decided by less than 10 points. What does that say about the team, and what is it teaching you all moving forward to getting deep into the meat of the season and getting close to the playoffs?